we're going to talk about three main things. By the way, Monique, thank you again for that experience that you shared with us. But we're going to talk about three main ways that we need to think about when we are going to be walking into some office and have a conversation with someone to try and earn their business, right? And so the first thing we need to do is qualify our prospects. We need to find out if we're even talking to the right person and the right company that's going to give us business. I mean, Monique was talking to escrow and title officers about RON, remote online notarization. A lot of those agents have never, if they've heard of it, don't really use it. And so she was leading with something that really wasn't appropriate for that client that she was trying to have a conversation with. So we need to know who we're talking to and if what we're saying is what they're looking for. This is called qualifying our prospects. And not every prospect, not every escrow officer, not every title officer is actually going to need or want what we have to offer. So our goal is to identify those from the get-go and save ourselves a lot of heartache and not get rejected because you're talking to someone that can't even give you the business that you're trying to obtain, right? Then it's starting the conversation. How do we actually start the conversation? Now, I'm gonna tell you sort of the errors and the mistakes that Monique made. And again, this is part of the learning process, right? Failure is not failure, but it's just an opportunity to learn and grow. You'll never learn and grow unless you go out there and make mistakes. I mean, making mistakes is okay. But the problem with Monique is that she went in there trying to sell herself, sell her service, sell her product, and she was talking about herself. Now, if you guys recall in the previous episode, Ronnie and I were talking about how it's not about making it about us, but making it about them. And the way we make it about them is by asking questions. We get to learn about them. We let them tell us what it is they need from us. And now we can speak the language that they want to hear based on what they need. Another thing we learned from the last episode is that there was a lady who was in an attorney state only area where she was a notary in an attorney state only. And she was sort of like, well, how do I get business, right? Well, it turns out we identified she had one of the best opportunities out of all the notaries because we were able to conclude that her best option was prospecting attorneys who had this business and basically offering them, hey, I can take that load off of you guys and we can partner up. And so the idea that it doesn't always have to be title and escrow officers that you're going to be prospecting. And there's two reasons why we want to do that, right? One, we can have an alternative way of getting to them, whether it's real estate agents, loan officers, or even a completely different industry. Being direct doesn't mean escrow title necessarily. It could be attorneys and doing, what's really popular right now is those trusts, right? Those trust signings.